Hello and welcome to another episode of GrangeTV. We have a very special guest with us, the number 2 flyweight in the world, Mr. Carrillo Moreno, who's fighting November 22nd for us, November 21st for him. Thank you so much, sir. And this is like only a few weeks before your fight, so thank you so much for taking the time out and doing the interview with us.
No, man, thank you for the space. Thank you for your time, of course.
Y un mensaje especial para la gente que habla español. Vamos a lo capaz
Eso,
en los dos idiomas, en español y inglés, en diferentes
eso.
momentos. So
Un
just,
abrazo a toda la gente que habla hispana.
we're just saying that at times we may do this in Spanish and English for the people that speak Spanish. And Brendan just said a big hug to all the people that speak Spanish as well. Brendan, tell us your fight with Brandon Royval that's coming up. You're fighting on the undercard, and also you have your eye, I'm sure, on the main event. So let's kick off with your opponent, Brandon Royval.
I mean, I have an important fight, Brandon Rebel has 2 fights in the company. He looks impressive in both performance, against Tim Elliott and KK France. He looks very well, like aggressive, brave. I always try to go forward and trying to make some crazy submission, So I'm excited for the fight. I'm focused on Brandon Royval, but I know if I win this fight, I can go the next for the title.
How do you see yourself matching up with him? Because he is like unorthodox. He's crazy. He's always doing different attacks, which I think are a massive advantage, but can also be a little bit of a disadvantage. How do you see it?
I think this fight is the real main event of the card. The style of Brandon and my style also are pretty similar. I think so. Because we are brave too. I mean, I'm from Mexico. I'm brave, and I love the fist fight. So Brandon Royval in his last fight in the company looks impressive, very brave, and I'm the same too. I'm trying always to go forward to kill somebody. So let's see November 21st in the night. But I think that fight can be the fight of the night, of course.
I honestly think so too. I've been looking forward to it. It was very lucky for me, very, very lucky, because I was able to get both of you to be on the podcast. He's going to be on the podcast next, thanks to your manager. Sir. So massive thank you to Ed, actually. He's the one that put it all together. So massive thank you. Share a common opponent. Nice guy. He is, isn't he? He is. You share a common opponent in Kai Kara France.
Yes.
What do you take from that?
I mean, I think he was more aggressive with his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in that fight. For me, for example, I tried to make a statement. If you watch my career, UFC released me from the company, so I come back and fought against Oscar Askarov in Mexico City, have a draw against him. So in that fight, I tried to make something different on my style, fight style, because I always try to go for the submission too. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, but now my striking, my boxing, my kicks looks impressive too. So that fight I tried to make a statement. So I go to the decision. I mean, I think the fight was very clear for me, and the fight between Brandon Royval and KK France, like very close. Just KK France try a bad takedown. Brandon Royval take the moment and get the submission, get the guillotine, and that's it. I mean, this sport is about the styles, and that's it.
Okay, speaking of styles and matchups, how do you feel that you match up with Davison or Alex Perez, depending on who wins there?
Oof.
Let's go with Davison first. I know you got Brandon first now, and that's all you're thinking about. But we're just the alcohol talking now. Just how do you match up?
No, but you know what? It's curious because I think Figueiredo and Alex Perez are very similar too. Like tough, always go forwards, a lot of power in both hands. So I think Figueiredo will win against Alex Perez, but I'm not surprised if Alex Perez can make the upset. I don't know, but I love my style. I'm very fast. I'm very fast. I'm more technical than both guys. More technical. I know that, and I'm so sure of them. I know they have power, but I have speed. I have power, and not just in my hands, but I have power in all my body and not all my skills. So I don't know, but I'm focusing Revolve. I'm excited for my future right now.
Absolutely. In the fight with Kai, I saw that you were throwing this a combination that kind of stepping in and throwing that left high kick. If you remember, is that something you worked on specifically for Kai? Was this something you'd seen in his game that made him susceptible to that left high kick?
Yeah, definitely was specific for Kai. He has he's a guy for he always try to throw one punch, a hard punch. So I try to throw a lot of left kicks to his head. Even when he blocked the kick, he was always like taking care about me, about my kicks. He was always taking care about my my counter, for example. So yeah, that was a specific game plan for him, and it worked. The fight was nice, was really good. Almost the fight of the night. That night was Kamaru Usman against Colby Covington. The main event, but was a nice fight for between us.
I thought it was a great fight. Honestly, it was a really really good fight. I think that you kind of pulled away from him towards the end of the fight, though. You really pulled away. Where does that come from? Where does your ability and or want to fight coming forward the way you did? Where does that come from? Has it always been there?
Because I'm Mexican, brother. We are we are we are very famous. For example, in boxing, I don't know, Terrible Morales, Julio Cesar Chavez, Antonio Margarito, Juan Manuel Marquez. If you watch all these guys, they have the same style. Always go forward, very brave, throw punches, doesn't care if they take some damage. Always if he can go forward again. So that's it. I mean that's it. That's it. I'm Mexican and I'm brave and I love this sport and I love throw punches with other guy.
When did you know that you were like that? When did because you started training how old? 12 years old. When did you go? I've got a good
Okay.
chin and I like it. I like this.
Oh, maybe I don't have a specific moment for me, you know. But for example, in the training in the sparring day, I need to make sparring with a big guys because I don't have a too much flyweights in my camp in my gym. So I need to make sparring with 135ers, even 145ers sometimes. So I I don't when they throw me a punch directly to my face. I don't feel like real damage. I don't feel really danger in that moment. So maybe after my release after my release of the company, I tried to make some more striking. Like I say before, I'm a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. So but I try to put more skills on my game, and my striking looks very well right now because I'm brave and I know I can support the damage. Maybe since the fight against Askarov in Mexico City, know about I can support the damage. I can go for. I can exchange punches with other guy. Maybe in that moment was the correct moment when I knew I love to throw punches with the people.
Okay. Where do you train? Like, what's your training like? Who do you train with? Where do you train? Do you train in Mexico all the time?
Yes.
Tell us about this.
Yeah, right now my training camp is in Mexico, in Tijuana. It's very close to the border with United States. I mean, it's Tijuana, the border, and California, San Diego. And the gym, the name is Entram Gym. My head coach is Raul Arbizu. He's a black belt from Dean Lister. Dean Lister won like 3 times the ADCC, and he's amazing. So I train with Teco Quiñones. For example, my training partner Teco Quiñones, who will fight this tomorrow, Saturday, against Lois Smolka. So I train with him. I have a lot of different training partners who not either are not in the UFC, but have a lot of record, and they fall in different amazing companies. So we have an amazing team right now in Tijuana. And I mean, right now I think the guy with more name in the gym with my training partner Teco, but we have a lot of good training partners in the gym in Tijuana.
Okay. Do you box with a boxing gym, or is that all in house in the same gym?
No, actually, when I'm start to do box, I'm starting in other place, in another boxing gym. But now my coach, my head coach Raul Arbizu, making a huge gym. In a huge gym, we have a strength and conditioning. We have a huge mat to make grappling, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, striking too, and he put another floor to put some ring of boxing ring, put a lot of stuff, heavy bags, and my boxing coach come came to my team, and now he is the boxing coach in Netam Gym.
Also, that worked out really well. Your original boxing coach has now. Is there a boxing program in that gym now, like an actual
Yes,
program?
sir. Yes, sir. Uh, you know, right now we have everything in our gym. My strength and conditioning coach is there in my gym. I mean, obviously my head coach and my boxing coach, and that is my team. All my team is in the same spot, in the same place, training with me.
Man, that is pretty cool, man. That's can you tell us a little bit then? You grew up in it's called Baja California,
Yes, sir.
which is part
Tijuana.
of Tijuana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is it true that your family had a piñata business?
Yes, sir. Yes. All my life I live around piñatas. My fathers have a piñata company, and they build the piñatas and sell it in San Diego or Los Angeles, in California.
Right. Did were you gonna take part of the family business? Like what was the original plan for you?
I mean, at first, when before to start this sport like a professional, I work a little bit with my parents, just helping in some stuff. I was very bad building piñatas, to be honest. I was very, very bad. But I tried to do something. But right now my mind is completely in the gym, in my own business. What is the hard business? Maybe in the future, you never know. You never know. But I don't think so. I think the business of my parents go with my brother. Actually, my brother maybe can get the company.
What's the name of the company?
Piñatas Moreno, easily.
Piñatas Morenos. Um,
Yes, sir.
can you tell us what it was like growing up in Tijuana? What it was like? What did you do? Who were you as a kid? If we were in high school together, say 15 years old, if we're at school together, you're 15. Who were you? Which kid were you?
Um, I mean, grow up in Tijuana was nice, very nice, because I love Tijuana. Exists a lot of nice things about Tijuana, different to other, I don't know, other city in Mexico, no, because we are very close to the border, and it's funny. I mean, not funny, but a lot of different people. from I don't know, from Honduras to to South America, try to cross the border from Tijuana. But
Ah,
okay, but a lot of times, I mean, I think not uh, 90% of the situation of the time they can't cross the border and stay in Tijuana. So right now we have a lot of different kind of cultures there, you know, and that makes that makes too much. That makes a lot because I don't know, in the food, in the el turismo,
tourism.
tourism, in everything. So man, if you go to Tijuana, you can see like a fusion of cultures very, very well, very, very nice. For example, I love to eat in Tijuana because we have a lot of kind of different food, and it's amazing, and it's just one of the a lot of different things I can say about Tijuana. It's amazing.
Is it safe? Like you hear a lot of stuff. We hear on the news. We hear a lot of stuff about Mexico, Tijuana, etc. Da 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 da. And in Tijuana, in particular, we hear sometimes stuff. So, what's it like living there?
I mean, I need to be honest with you, bro. I mean, it's a third world country, It's Mexico. We have problems, of course, when we have narco traffic, we have drugs, obviously. But if you don't go to bad places, you don't have problems. Do you understand? I mean, for example, me, I I, I don't have any single uh, bad history about my city, about Tijuana, But if you ask to other guys, who I don't know, guys who go to some bad place or maybe a lot of live nights, something like that, they can
When you say
give
live
you a
nights,
lot of
what's a live night? ¿Qué es eso? Dijiste live.
como hacer, es que en Tijuana hay mucha vida nocturna, hay
Ajá.
muchos bares, ¿sí entiendes?
Sí.
Entonces, mm, híjole, si te la pasas en este tipo de vida o vas a otros tipos de lugares fuera de la ciudad, puede que sí te encuentres problemas, claro que sí.
Ah,
También hay barrios peligrosos, claro que los hay. Pero te digo yo, o sea, me, I don't have any bad history and any bad moment in my city because I mean, I go to the gym and I go to my home then, Or for example, the weekends I go to the movie theater. I mean, before the pandemic, I went to the movie theater. I went to some restaurant, take my family to the restaurant, eat something, and that's it.
yeah. Just to clarify, so when he was referring to live nights, he means like uh, nights out at at a dance nightclubs, whatnot. That's what he's talking
Yep.
about. So yeah, yeah. No, all right. And so then you've got a family now, eh? You've got a wife and two daughters. How old are your
Three
daughters?
daughters.
Three daughters. Three daughters. How old are your
Yeah.
kids?
The last one born in September.
Oh,
The last one.
congratulations, man! Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So the first one has 6 years old. The second one has 2 years old, and the new one has 1 month and a half.
How do you juggle that? Because I have a daughter as well now. I have a 1 year old. She's one today. Actually, not today. In
Oh
2 days, but we're celebrating
man,
today.
congrats, bro.
Thank you, thank you. She's but their work, man. They're a lot of hard work. How do you juggle that with training?
No, my wife helped me too much. Helped me a lot with that. For example, right now she's along with my three kids in the house, so I know she's like she has right now a lot of stress. She's mad maybe, but I love my wife because she helped me too much with everything. Just not my kids. Is about everything. My everything. She helped me too much, and I love her. And it's hard. I try sometimes to rest because the training camp, for example, is really hard. But I go back to my home after the training. I need to help my wife too. Because she care of my three kids all day. So she needs sometimes a brief, a huge brief
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
3 kids.
And people don't realize that as well. Like the kids are a lot of work. That's
Yeah,
a full time job. Just that in
of
itself.
course.
In itself, and they don't care. Like my daughter now, she's got a cold, un resfrío,
Yes, yes.
and she doesn't care. She'll come straight like this far away from me and go and cough in cough in my mouth. She doesn't care, you know. And if she's sick, she doesn't care. You've still gotta be there for her and work. You know, it's a lot of work, man. Like with the kids. What was growing up with your family like? You say you have a brother. Do you have any brothers and sisters like other than your brother?
Yeah, I have my youngest sister. She's 37. My brother is 33. Yes, and me, I'm 26. So yeah, I had two brothers, my parents, and was nice. I was a very happy kid, to be honest.
What made you so what kicked off the martial arts journey? How did that begin?
I don't know. Actually, if you ask to some, I don't know, friend from elementary school or high school, they never thought I will be a professional fighter. I'm started just because I wanted to lose weight at 12 years old. I was a fat guy.
Were you very
You
very
know,
fat or too
no,
much?
no, very very fat, but tenía mis lonjas,
What's that? What did you say?
tenía mi
Ah,
panza.
tenía la panza. He had a belly. He had a
Yeah.
belly. Yeah. Um.
So and and two, I try to spend my time in something good too. Because uh, after the school, after the elementary school, I went to my house and eat and take some cookies, soda, and start to play video games, and that's it. But yeah, I finished my elementary school. I I went to the middle school, but before I tried to get some place to train. At first, I tried to do like capoeira or karate,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I saw I actually entrance gym is my first gym ever. I I went to a lot of different places around the United States and trained, but always my first gym was Entram Gym. So I see the gym in the street, and in that time I don't I don't know, no, yo no sabía what is Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, what is wrestling, what is kickboxing or Muay Thai even, but el anuncio, el espectacular, ¿sí?
So
Was very nice, like impressive.
the
And
advertisement got him. The advertisement got him.
yeah,
That's what he said. Yeah.
exactly. So my mom called to the gym, and that's it. I mean, it's easy. I'm here now. I'm started the sport. Was hard first, but I always remember my first time when I do sparring. One boy, he had like 10 years old. I had 12 in that moment. He kicked me. He killed me. He killed me badly, badly. But I love it. I love that moment, and I remember that time, and it was amazing, And I start to love the sport. I'm start to love the sport, and I'm here loving the sport again. Also,
How is it that you speak English so well? What like how, is that everyone in Baja California like that or not?
man, thank you so much. I know it's not perfect, but I think our conversation is good, But yeah, it's normal. It's in Baja California, in Tijuana, it's very normal. A lot of people knows English. Actually, a lot of American people from United States live in Tijuana because California is one of the most expensive cities in the United States. So a lot of people go to Tijuana, buy a house there, live in Tijuana, and work in United States. Because in Tijuana is cheaper than California.
How much cheaper is it when you cross the border? Like, ¿cuánto es mucho más barato en Tijuana?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know, but if you want to buy a house in California, it's like crazy. It's so crazy, like if for
No, but
one.
even day to day buying stuff.
Oh, but I mean, the food is so expensive in California. I mean, no, and not just California. I mean, it's all the United States in comparison with a third world country. You can go to some I don't know, McDonald's and eat for like for $10 maybe.
Right.
But you go to some McDonald's in the United States and it's expensive. It's more expensive. You spend like maybe $20 or $30 here.
Okay, so day to day in Tijuana,
Yeah,
it's half price. So
of course. And actually, Tijuana is one of the most expensive cities in Mexico. You
right,
know, but I mean, if you have the comparison with United States, it's cheaper.
what was your journey like with the UFC? Because you went through the Ultimate Fighter house. Did you correct me if I'm wrong? Did you fight in the UFC while you were on the Ultimate Fighter?
Just
How?
the show was the 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 show was on live, but I remember Luis Smolka actually will fight Sergio Perez, but Sergio Perez had an injury in that moment, and UFC needed a replacement, and the company decided was me, and I take the fight. Was hard and was so excited because Luis Smolka in that moment uh, well, was the number 9 ranking in the flyweight division, and me, I was the kid who lost in the first episode in the Ultimate Fighter. So, and anybody uh, think, nadie pensaba que yo iba a ganar.
Nobody thought he was going to win.
Exactly.
E, but how? Why did they pick you? Why did they pick you?
Oh, I mean, the fight was amazing. The fight in the Ultimate Fighter, I lost in the second round by submission. I was really, really tired in that moment. But the fight before was amazing. Like a lot of exchange of punches. I actually in the interview post fight with Dana White, in the episode of the Ultimate Fighters, he said something like he thought I will won. I was won that the fight.
You thought pensó que ibas a ganar.
Exacto.
Yeah,
Yes.
he Dana White thought he was going to win. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's why they decide to take me to the UFC.
How much easier was it to prepare for the fight? Did you prepare for Louis Smolka with your team, or did you prepare in the house for Louis Smolka?
No, in my team, in the team. I mean, the show was on live on TV, but the show, I mean, was over.
Okay. Because I wasn't familiar with that story. Somebody just told me now
Okay.
recently that
No.
how it went. Okay, training in the house, right,
So in the house, yes.
and living in
The
the house.
the
What was that like for you?
that changed my life. It was so different. Um, was in total was 1 month and a half
Yeah.
in the house. No communication with my family, no cell phones, no TV, no nothing. Wh- And I lost my first fight, and was the first fight in the season. But I remember when before to go to the Ultimate Fighter, I talked with my head coach, and we talked about what happened if I lost, and he said something like, "Hey, you are young, so relax. If you lose, be calm, take the moment some special training camp, you know, and I do that. I do that, because I love the fight, and I remember my coach, Joseph Benavides, take a lot of time with me, show me a lot of different skills, and I improve my my skills there. I learned too much with a different coaches, and I train, for example, with Dwayne Ludwig. I meet him there. I met him there too. Tilly Dillashaw, Danny Castillo, Juan Archuleta, who is the Bellator champion right now in bantamweight division. I meet Joseph Benavides, so I learned too much there.
Was it hard for you to be away from your family like that?
Yeah, too much. I think my mindset is very tough, but I really, I mean, I remember when the staff from the Ultimate Fighter, the guys from the Ultimate Fighter, give us our cell phones. I call immediately to my wife, and that moment was so special for me. I start to cry, and I feel very emotional in that moment, because you know you know tú no aprecias
Sí.
eh, esos momentos hasta que estás en una situación como esa.
Okay, you don't appreciate those moments until you're in a situation such as that one,
Exactly.
where you're away from your family and whatnot. And at what point did, because you were in the UFC, you'd had some success, you lost a couple of fights, then you were cut from the UFC, then you won a belt in a smaller organization, and then you went back to the UFC. Is that a correct trajectory?
Yes. In resume, yes.
Can you tell us, because right now cuando yo lo digo así, suena, fue tan perfecto. No te fue bien, ganaste otro cinturón, saliste de ahí, ganaste otro cinturón y volviste. Pero obviamente, te lo digo en español y después lo voy a decir en inglés. Y después si lo puedes contestar como quieras. Suena todo así perfecto, muy lindo, pero ¿qué estaba pasando en tu mente durante esos momentos? Porque entraste al UFC, saliste y ahí muchas veces la gente se puede caer, pero vos no caíste, vos ganaste un cinto y después volviste y ahora estás aquí número 2 en el mundo. ¿Sí? ¿Lo puedo decir en inglés?
Let's go.
Just in summary, I said to him, so the trajectory was, as I said earlier, so he got into UFC, had a little bit of success, but ended up getting cut, and then he won a belt, and then he went back now to the UFC, and he's number 2 in the world, very close to a title shot. And I said, it all sounds great when you hear it like this in hindsight, but I'm interested as to if he could speak to the mindset that he had during that, because a lot of times that being cut from the UFC after you've worked so hard to get in can crush you. But Brendan has seemed to run with it. So please.
Brother, I mean, that's why the people say the life is a roller coaster, Um, yeah, everything sounds like amazing, like history, very nice history about some fighter who tried to get success in this hard sport, But I remember when I lost my first fight in UFC against Sergio Perez in Mexico City. What I mean, before that, everything was amazing, UFC take me to the capital of the country, to Mexico City. I do a lot of media stuff, a lot of interviews, a lot of cameras, a lot of talk with a lot of people. I was the main event. I mean, imagine that. I mean, I was the main event of one of the card of the UFC. Was amazing. Was very very nice. But I lost the fight. I remember that fight was hard for me because I had a lot of fights before. I was tired. My mind was tired. My body was tired. But I took, obviously I took the fight because I do that. I am a fighter. I need to fight. So I lost the fight. Then I went to Chile. Supposedly I needed to fight to Ray Borg, but that fight go down like 3 times in a row. First in Texas, then in New York, and then Ray Borg uh, go out to the fight because some problem with his kid, with his son. So I in that moment I do a game plan for a wrestler, because Ray Borg is amazing. He has good hands, but he's a wrestler, and he knows that, and everybody knows that. So I do a training camp for that, specific for a wrestler, but then change the opponent with a striker guy, a different style of fighter, who is Alexander Pantoja. He beat me in the Ultimate Fighter, so more pressure. My mind was tired again. I feel very different. So I lost my second fight in a row. UFC released me to the company. Was sad, and in that moment, it start to happen a lot of different bad things. My I start to lose money. Because the more you need to spend money in the life, so I start to lose money. I had economic problems. My daughter needed a surgery because he had problems in his stomach. You know, and again, UFC caught me. So that moment was very, very bad in my life. And right now, like it's funny, because eso ya pasó.
See, because it's happened. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I was very sad. Sometimes, crying. But here I am. When I actually meet my manager, they give me the fight for the title in LFA. Was very important for me because LFA, we know, is a smaller company. It's a local company, but LFA give to the UFC a lot of talent. A lot of guys to the Contender Series or the UFC directly, and I won the title, and my manager give me another. I mean, not just my manager, but he talks with the UFC, and UFC give me another opportunity to go back to the UFC, and man, I feel hungry, angry, and with a lot of hungry after that, and that's why I'm here again, and I think right now is different. I I know I can go for the title, and be the first 100% Mexican champion in the UFC.
Okay, I have a few questions with this. The first one is,
Okay.
con tu estado mental, la salud mental tuya cuando pasó eso, porque otra vez uno lo dice como, porque todo el mundo ha tenido los problemas con las carreras, con todo, y si yo te cuento, por ejemplo, mi cosa, bueno, pero ahora estás bien y todo, pero en ese momento, ¿cuáles fueron los factores que te ayudaron a vos con tu, con la mente? Lo voy a decir en inglés y después si lo podemos traducir. I just asked him how he dealt with his mental health. What were the things that allowed him to get through this situation with his mental health? Because we all have problems in our careers or whatnot. And then when people look at it in hindsight or they look from the outside, they go, oh, but you're all right now, and da 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 da. So I'm just curious, what were the things that allowed him to get through that?
I mean, when everything starts, and in that moment when I was very sad, you know, some days I don't want even to get up to the bed and go train, you know, because yo pensaba que ya muchas cosas no tenían sentido.
He felt that things at that point, there was no point to do them. There was no point to it.
But I don't know. Just in that moment, just get up to the bed and go to the gym. I was allowed with my family. I was allowed with my both in that moment 2 daughters. So I tried to spend a lot of time with them and my wife. And man, that's it. I mean, voy a hablar en español para que lo puedas comprender mejor.
Sí, sí, sí.
O sea, yo realmente no tuve ayuda realmente psicológica o algo así. Entonces, simplemente fue apoyarme de mi familia, fue apoyarme de mis compañeros de entrenamiento, del gimnasio y mantenerme mentalmente duro, ¿no? Creo, y eso es algo que a lo largo de mi carrera me ha ayudado muchísimo. O sea, que mi mentalidad siempre ha sido muy, muy dura y siempre he sabido salir adelante a pesar de las malas situaciones.
Okay, he said he didn't have any psychological coaching or psychological help per se, but he lent a lot on his family and lent a lot on his teammates from the gym and whatnot. But it's something that he's felt that he's always had a mindset that was very sturdy and very resilient that's allowed him to push through. Um, ¿Siempre tuviste esa mentalidad? Have you always had that mindset desde chico as a child?
When I start the sport, because I think before to know the sport, I was very lazy, like
Lazy.
flojo,
Sí, flojo,
lazy,
vago. Sí, sí, sí.
you know,
So he was lazy
for the
before the
same,
sport.
Yeah, I mean, I was go go home after the school, again, eat junk food, play video games. I don't want it to help in the house, and my mom trying to take me out to my room and put me to do something in the house or in the company in the business. But when I start the sport, I think all my spirit, like a fighter spirit, is born on me, you know, and then so when I have a bad moment, I'm trying to stay focused in the final goal. I have always some words in my mind because I say like this life is un marathon.
Life's a marathon.
This life is a marathon. So that that kind of race is not short. It's long. It's long, and you feel tired, and you feel you can't do it. But the final goal is the most important. The final target.
Do you, what's your mom and dad like? Do you get a lot of that mentality from watching them run a business and that? ¿Vos sacaste mucho de tus padres de verlos trabajar, de verlo porque suena como que tus padres también trabajan mucho? ¿Vos sacaste eso de ellos, de eso?
Yes, brother. Because when they started his business, his piñata business, they are very like poor, you know. And actually, in my life, I don't have any problem when I was a kid. I have everything, like I have a special gift in Christmas, for example. I have food always, I don't have problems with my life when I was a kid. But for example, my youngest sister, Jess,
No,
she
pero tu hermana más grande,
exactly.
the oldest sister.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Youngest is
the oldest
okay, yeah.
sister. Yeah, yeah.
My oldest sister had a most tough life than me because she started the company when I with my parents. Even my middle brother had that life too. So, but I really appreciate all the work of my parents. Because they give me everything. They give me everything, and I always, when I grow up, I was watching my parents working too hard to give us everything in the life. So really appreciate that.
And you feel that de que vos sacaste la fuerza de esa fuerza mental que ellos han tenido y poder ver la evolución de que, por ejemplo, no tenían plata, no estaban en una situación fuerte económica, pero siguieron trabajando, siguieron laburando y vos pensás que tenés eso de ellos también así, a lo que vos viste.
Definitely, definitely, and I think I had that mindset in combination with my head coach, because I knew my head coach when I was 12 years old, so I was very young. So he gave me a lot of his philosophy of life, you know. So the combination between my parents and my head coach give me too much power in my life, too much power in my mindset. And yes, I mean, I grow up watching my parents working so hard, and grow up in the sport watching my head coach working so hard in the gym, or with the other students, with the other fighters. So yeah, that combination was amazing for me.
What's so now? What? How big are you in? How big are you in Mexico? ¿Cuál es la posición tuya, por ejemplo, con los otros atletas en México? ¿La gente te conoce así como si vos salís a la calle y eso? How big are you in Mexico is basically what I asked in Spanish. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I mean, a lot of people know me. I mean, it's not crazy, It's not like all the people around me trying to get some photo, trying to get some autograph. But yeah, like for example, weekends when I go to the restaurant with my family, maybe 3 or 4 photos, maybe.
Right.
Because right now, I'm the people, I think, don't understand the situation of fighters like us. You know, for example, if some guy from the United States win in the UFC, I mean, it's normal, because UFC has a lot of American fighters. The
Yes.
same with the Brazilians. I mean, if a Brazilian fighter wins in the UFC, it's like normal. It's like, nice, because UFC has a lot of Brazilian fighters. But in Mexico, we don't have too much fighters in the huge stage in the sport. You know, uh, right now we have like uh, less of 10 fighters in the company. Right now we have Teco Quiñones, Diablito Pérez, Mowgli Benitez, Pantera Rodriguez, Irene Alda. We have like eight fighters in the company. So always when some Mexican fighter win in the UFC, all the country knows about that. All the people around the sport, because the sport right now is famous, but we need to put more fame in the sport in Mexico. You know.
But in Mexico, you the dominant sports for the Mexicans are football, soccer, and
Boxing.
boxing, boxeo. Like a Canelo Alvarez or someone like that. Like, say for example, if Cain Velasquez and Canelo Alvarez, you wouldn't be able to compare, ¿no?
No.
Como en el
No.
apogeo de Cain, no se puede comparar con el apogeo de Canelo.
No, bro. Even in that moment, I think Canelo has a lot of more supporters than Cain Velasquez. Boxing in Mexico is special. It's like, I don't know, which the 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 main sport in Australia. Imagine that the sport. That sport is here in boxing in Mexico.
Yeah, but
So
times 100 because there's more people in Mexico than Australia as well.
okay,
No,
I mean,
te digo, lo que yo digo es, no solo es más popular boxeo, pero encima hay más gente en México. Entonces, más
yes, sir.
gente que está envuelto en ese deporte del boxeo en México.
Exactly, yeah. And soccer. I think soccer is first, and then it's boxing.
And so the soccer stars in Mexico, are they bigger than the boxing stars? ¿Cuál tiene más éxito?
Good question. Good question. Uh, Good question. I don't know. Maybe yes. I mean, Canelo is most important than all the soccer players in Mexico. For example. But we have just one. We have just Canelo, and in the soccer players are too much.
Yeah.
So maybe it's different.
Yeah. Can you tell us now what happens? So where are you right now? What's your routine? What happens till the fight? And to run us through it.
I mean, until now, no, I mean,
No, como
since
la rutina desde ahora hasta la pelea.
yeah. So since now is different because I'm here in Vegas, but the training camp in Tijuana, that's my normal routine. So it's waking up like 7 a.m. Go to the gym. Uh, Mondays and Wednesdays I do a wrestling class in my gym. So I do my wrestling class. Then I train at 11 a.m. Depends the day, depends the training, and the afternoon depends the day, depends the training, and the afternoon make another training, and then the rest a little bit, train again, and then go back to my home and take care of my kids. So that's why they take care of kids is a full-time work. So when I go to my house, I can't go directly to rest. So I need to take care of my kids a little bit and then take a shower, eat my dinner, and rest.
And so what happens now? El qué pasa ahora? Vos estás en Las Vegas, estás descansando, vas al instituto. Si nos puedes contar lo que haces esta semana. What happens this week? I'm asking. That's all.
This week is very slow. I go down with my training, bajo mi entrenamiento.
Sí.
To get some rest, the training camp is really hard, and in this moment I need to recover my body. I don't know, maybe for example, the 3 weeks ago I'm experiencing very bad because I was very tired. I felt my arms very heavy, so I need to recover that. Right now I'm doing that, and I don't know. Last Wednesday, I do a sparring. No, a really hard sparring, but I do with good rhythm sparring, and I feel amazing. I feel so different. I feel really good. So this week here in the Performance Institute is just take a lot of physical therapy, mental therapy, even still train, but not really hard, just to get some sweat, burn some calories, and still keeping lose weight, and that's it. Waiting to the quarantine next week.
How hard is your weight cut? ¿Es difícil entrar en peso?
A little bit. In the last years, I get more muscle, and I'm more heavy right now than, for example, my last opportunity in the company, the UFC, before they released me. Right now I'm so the cut weight is a little bit harder, but nothing really bad, nothing really bad. But actually it's normal. Before, my cut weight was really easy. Right now it's like a normal cut weight.
¿Cuántos kilos? La pelea es 57 kilos, ¿no?
Yes.
¿Y cuántos kilos? ¿En México hablan en kilos o en libras?
Yes, but it's curious because Tijuana is so close to the United States, so we talk about pounds.
Oh, so you're talking pounds. Okay, that's because I asked him. So what I asked him was, do you talk in pounds or kilos? Because in Mexico you're talking kilos, right?
Mexico normally is kilos, yes.
But in Tijuana they talk in Baja California they talk in pounds because it's so close to the US. So
at least in Tijuana, yes.
¿Y con cuánto peso vos caminás normalmente? How heavy is your walk around weight? I asked.
I mean, out of camp, I mean 150, 151.
Okay, como 70 kilos.
Almost, yes, like 70 kilos.
So 150, 155.
Right now, so right now I'm 138. So
138, so 62, algo así.
Yeah, something like that, yes.
Entonces tenés como 5 kilos para cut.
Para cortar. Yeah.
Okay, so
The
it cuts about 5 kilos, which is like 12 pounds, which is a fair bit for es bastante para una persona chica.
Maybe, but I mean, again, my cut weight before was very easy. Easy. I just cut like I was kind of like maybe 4 pounds.
Ah, right,
It's
right.
like one and a half kilos.
Yeah.
Very, very easy. And right now I think the 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 cut weight is perfect because I can cut like 2 or 3 kilos and recover myself to the next day and recover weight, but not too much to feel heavy. The necessary to feel amazing, to feel fast and explosive.
Ok. Te voy a preguntar algo, y después te dejo ir. Muchas gracias por el tiempo. Lo aprecio mucho. Yo sé que
Gracias, hermano.
no es fácil hacer estas entrevistas. Así, entonces, muchas gracias, te digo. Pero quiero saber algo. ¿Cuándo empieza el día de la pelea para vos y el qué pasa en el día de la pelea? Por ejemplo, yo he entrevistado a otra gente que me dice el día de la pelea empieza la semana antes, la noche antes, 10 minutos antes, pero después quiero saber también el qué está pasando en tu mente cuando vos estás ahí atrás y entran y te dicen, Brandon, 5 minutos.
5 minutes.
Sí, y el qué empieza en tu cabeza. Ahora lo voy a decir en inglés y si vos podés contestarlo. So
Nice.
I asked him, can you explain to us what happens on fight day? When is fight day for you? Does it start a week before? Does it start the night before? Different people that I've interviewed have said different things. Cedric Doumbé, who's fighting in glory for defending the belt, I asked him, he said it started the week before. And then I want to know what it is that Brandon's mind goes to when they walk in and they say 5 minutes. And also, I thank him very much for doing this because, man, this guy's about to fight. You know what I mean? Sí, por favor, if you can answer that.
I mean, maybe all the concentration start, when it starts fight week. UFC take us to the hotel in Tuesday. Normally, in pandemic or no pandemic, the fight week starts in Tuesday. UFC take us to the hotel that day, so everything starts in that moment. But the fight day, everything changed. I start to feel something different, and when it's time to go down to the lobby, because you need to go to the lobby and take the bus, and they take you to the arena. Before to do that, I put my sunglasses, I put my headphones, and I disconnect my mind to Brandon Moreno and the other guy coming. And in that moment, until the fight, does Brandon Moreno don't exist. This other guy. So that's it. I think that's my transformation to the fight. In that moment, the fight starts for me.
What goes through your mind when they come in and they say to you 5 minutes and you're behind that black curtain and you're about to make the walk?
I don't know, man. This the other guy. I don't. I'm not in that place. Yo no estoy ahí.
So it's not you. He's saying it's not me.
Exactly. It's the other guy, and I don't know what happened with him.
¿Vos realmente no te acordás? You really don't remember? Like you don't. Pero realmente vos te sentís como otra persona. You really feel like another person.
Yes. I have like some ideas. Like tengo como memorias a veces, but
Yeah, small memories. Yeah.
But no, I don't have like all the situation in my mind. I don't have one.
Entonces, es como que vos realmente es otra persona. It's really like you split and you're a different person.
Definitely.
Ok, mira,
Yes, sir.
Brandon, te voy a dejar ir. We're gonna let you go. Man, un abrazo muy grande ahí. Quiero lo mejor para tú y tu familia y un abrazo a toda la gente que habla puede estar escuchando, mirando, pero, man, te deseo toda la mejor suerte y ojalá que te vaya todo bien.
Hermano, muchas gracias. No, no, la verdad es que un gusto hablar contigo y gracias por el espacio. Ahí también, ok, también por tu tiempo.
Okay, so I said thank you very much. He said thank you. All right, un placer, Brendan. Te vamos a ver
Oh,
pelear.
yeah.
Ok, chao, chao. Muchas gracias.
You can say Brandon Rebel, I love you.
Brendan Moreno, I love you, mate. Take care. Ahora un abrazo. Muchas gracias. Chao, chao.